It's been about 2 months since we recorded this competition, but hey, better late than never, right? Folks, ladies and gentle cars, my name is Farkle8000, and welcome back to Race Derby. It is time to run round number 2. The competitors who have advanced thus far are on your screen now. In the end of my last video, I mentioned a pretty hefty amount of competitors. I mentioned Ladder. I mentioned the NASCAR, specifically Valvoline, because I still feel bad. I mentioned Diablo, but I'm still worried about that race he is in. He's in a race with Symbol, Comic, and Quattro. All four of those competitors are extremely strong. I mentioned Baseline, who got his first career win in the first ever race derby back in 2023. So we've got about, I believe, 75 competitors who have advanced to round 2. We are ready to whittle that down to 19. So let's stop stalling and get into the chaos. We kick off round number 2 from right to left with Ladder, Racer, Jeep, and Discount. And it looks to be a relatively even start, maybe Discount falling back, but even into the explosion zone. Jeep off the track. It's close between Discount and Ladder at the merge. Ladder flipped off the track. Discount cruises through. But sometimes things can get muddled at these pieces. Is it Discount who gets the victory? Or was it someone else? It is Discount who beats Ladder. Two-time runner-up of this competition back-to-back in 2023 and 2024, and Ladder is eliminated in round number 2. Oh my goodness, that kind of blows things wide open. I mean, he gets beat by a NASCAR as well. Is this NASCAR's competition to win? They are super strong in these specialty competitions. They've won race and land the last couple of years. They were really strong in race derby last year. This year, Discount eliminates Ladder, advances to round 3. Can Discount take the win? Just so many questions, exiting only race 1 of this round. A very intriguing start to this round. And now it's time for race number 2. Is race 2 going to give us the same type of questions? Well, let's find out as next up. We've got Birthday, Johnson, Tire Pros, and Orange Liner. And it looks to be maybe another relatively even start. Maybe Tire Pros inching ahead just a little bit. Now Johnson off the track. His Birthday off the track. That allows Tire Pros to take the victory. Birthday flipped off the track. As Johnson was eliminated coming through the explosion zone, he got off the track and hit Birthday, caused him to pop a wheelie and get onto the side of the track. That slowed him down way too much. Tire Pros ends up with the victory. Birthday with a good shot at the win gets eliminated. NASCAR's bookend this competition. Tire Pros will advance to round 3. Next up, we've got Impreza, BP, Pennzoil, and Mixer. And it looks to be a relatively good start for the middle lanes, but now Impreza draws even. Pennzoil wobbles just a little bit, so does Impreza. It's close at the merge between those two competitors. Impreza, though, was just a little bit far behind. They both wobbled a little bit, exiting the explosion zone, but Impreza has really soft suspension, so when he bounced and wobbled, he bounced and wobbled 10 times more than Pennzoil. Unfortunately, that means he loses the race, and another NASCAR. 3 races in, and 3 NASCARs are advancing to round 3. Next up, we've got Evolution, Base, Throwback, and Hoverstorm. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Base and Evolution inching ahead. It's close there as they both go out of control. Hoverstorm sneaks through and takes the victory as it's chaos behind. Evolution Evolution and Base were side by side. They were super close, had a very even start, but then tragically going through the explosion zone, they both hit their elimination piece, and then they both flipped off the track. Both of them get eliminated and get zero chance at the victory. It looks like Evolution would have had the best chance to race for the victory. Unfortunately, comes home in second. Base and third. Hoverstorm steals the win. Next up, we've got Speeder, M3, Club, and Blocker. And it looks to be another relatively even start. Maybe Speeder beginning to pull ahead. Now M3 inches ahead, a wobble there. He hits the wall. It's close between he and Club. Club flips off the track onto his roof. That was extremely tight at the merge zone. It looks like M3 will be the one getting the victory. He is indeed M3 with a terrible last couple of seasons. Almost lost this race here as well. Exiting the explosion zone, he bounced and then pancaked the outside wall. Luckily, though, that kind of straightened him up and allowed him to get a straighter run to the finish line. M3 just barely beats out a NASCAR. Next up, we've got Horseplay, 1, Exalta, and Stunts. And it looks to be another relatively even start. Maybe Horseplay and Stunts pulling ahead. Now Horseplay on the side of the track. 1 in front of him. Stunts will be the first to the merge zone. As per usual, it's chaos behind. It looks like Horseplay would have had a chance at that victory, but 1 getting eliminated, got off the track, got in front of him, plus Horseplay popping a wheelie and getting on the side of the track himself. Horseplay comes home in second. 1 in third. Horseplay had a chance at the victory, but that mistake plus competitor interference allows Stunts to steal the win. Next up, we've got Snake, Missile, Ream, and Shooter. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Shooter beginning to inch ahead in the outside lanes, close through the explosion zone. Shooter on the side of the track. Missile straight. He'll take the win ahead of Shooter. Shooter had a great chance there at taking the victory, but unfortunately coming through the explosion zone, he bounced and got on the side of the wall. It looked like he was the fastest and the strongest, but unfortunately that mistake is going to cost him the win. It's Missile instead to take the victory. Next up, we've got rookies, Sushi, Steven, and Roger with the veteran Kurt. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Steven beginning to fall behind. Roger in the lead. Now in the air, everyone off the track. It's Steven first to the merge zone on his roof. Everyone upside down except Sushi, who did flip off the track. Oh my goodness, that was absolute pure chaos. Before we even take a look at the result, take a look at this mess. There's the start of the race right there, and here they come towards this explosion zone, and just everyone. Absolute chaos. It is Steven with the victory right there. Absolutely no review necessary. Just pure chaos right there as everyone flipped in the air, got off the track. Sushi, really the only one to be heavy quotes here on the clean corner. It's a rookie 1-2-3 finish, and Steven continues his impressive run from last round to advance to round 3. Next up, we've got Netspend, Interstate, Benz, and 3. And Benz in lane number 3 is the first of 2 New Yorkers to have advanced to round 2 of this competition. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Ben's falling back, but now pulls to the lead, eliminates 3. A wobble there on the side of the track. It's close with Interstate very close at the line or at the merge zone as Ben's piece is actually flipped up. I thought he eliminated 3. Netspend definitely eliminated, but who takes the win here? Coming down, and that looks like a Ben's victory to me. I'm hearing that is the truth. And so Benz does indeed have the best chance of winning, but wobbling right there on the side of the track. But it looks like Benz is on top of it before Interstate reaches it. Usually that is a sign that Benz would be winning, and the officials are calling that the truth. Benz is going to take the victory in this race. 2 New Yorkers advance to round 2 of this competition. I think they're both back-to-back. I think the next one runs in the very next race after this one. And so Benz setting the bar, I guess, advancing to round number 3. That is huge for his position as the rest of his competitors continue to crumble down the standings. Next up, we've got Copo, Lightning, Shifter, and Patrol. And Patrol in lane number 4 is the second and final New Yorker to have advanced to round 2 in this competition. Though it looks to be a bit of an even start. Maybe Patrol inching ahead of Shifter a little bit through the explosion zone. Lightning all over the place. Chaos through the merge. Lightning snuck through the middle to take the win. Or did he take the win as his piece above is flipped up? Who takes the win? That was an absolute chaotic race. We've got to go from the beginning and break this down. And it looks like in the first part, Lightning bounces, which is why his piece is flipped up. Lightning, though, beats Copo, and then Patrol does indeed beat Shifter. And so moving this forwards here, that means Lightning is going to take the victory as Shifter gets in front of Patrol and basically shoves him off the track, and Copo kind of cruises through behind Lightning. Lightning kind of sneaking through the middle right there. Lightning is going to take the victory. Patrol in second, Shifter in third, Copo in fourth. Devastating right there for Patrol. He started the highest in points this season, and he has been collapsing through the standings, getting a pretty decent number of points, but it's still not a round 3 advancement. Lightning kind of snuck through the chaos that was happening around him to advance to the next round. Next up, we've got Rookie, Huckster, Roadster, Dodge, and Kyle. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Kyle falling back now. Huckster off the track. Roadster on the side of the track, but I think beats Kyle at the merge. On the side of the track, clearly she had a big enough advantage and enough momentum to hold him off. Roadster clearly had just such a big run and got extremely lucky with Huckster being on her outside, flipping off the track with Kyle. I believe Dodge was to his inside. And so when Dodge got eliminated, kind of hit Kyle, slowed Kyle down enough for Roadster to sneak on by. Even though she was on the side of the track, she still takes the win. Next up, we've got Moto, Turbo, 30, and Sylvia. And it looks to be a relatively... looks like the piece got let go too early now. Turbo far behind, off the track behind Moto. Moto tried to close on 30, but 30 was just way too far ahead as the start line piece was let go, unfortunately, just a little bit too early. I think we had some issues with that in round 1 as well, but that is tragic right there. 30 will take the victory. Moto comes home in second. Sylvia and Turbo get messed up by the starter's mistake. 30 takes the win, just barely ahead of Moto. Next up, we've got Symbol, Comic, Quattro, and Diablo. Diablo in lane number 4, looking for 3 in a row in this competition. He would be the first competitor ever in the Diecast competition series to win the same competition 3 years in a row, but he is going up against some extremely strong competition. Watch out for him in lane number 4, because things are probably about to get desperate. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Diablo and Comic falling back as Diablo's in the air. He's off the track. Symbol I believe, took the victory. Comic was right there next to him, but Diablo is off the track for the first time in his race derby career. Oh, I think that's the end. I think that's it of a legacy. It is! Symbol takes the win and it's over for Diablo. Oh no, oh my goodness, it's over. It's all over. A dream of a lifetime comes crashing to a screeching halt. In round number 2, Diablo will come home in 3rd place. Quattro in 2nd. Symbol will take the victory, but just an absolutely devastating situation here for Diablo. Just did not get a good start, and unfortunately that costs him a chance at Diecast Competition Series history. Next up, we've got Otto, Rookie Nyx, Valvoline, and Sean. And it looks to be maybe Nyx with a slight lead, maybe Otto right there with him through the explosion zone. Nyx on top of Otto, slows him down. Valvoline will take the victory right out from underneath Otto. Man, Otto had the lead, he had the race in control, but the rookie unfortunately getting eliminated, landing on his roof. Okay, never mind, hold on now. I'm gonna stop myself before I go further. Nyx will come home in 2nd place, it looks like. Let me completely flip what I was just saying. Nyx had it under control. He had the race in hand, but unfortunately a mistake coming through the explosion zone. I guess he bounced, and that allowed him not to trigger his piece to eliminate Otto, and it basically flipped him out of control. He tried to stay on track, tried to get Otto to push him, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. The rookie comes home 2nd to Valvoline, will take the win for the NASCARs instead of Otto and advance to round 3. Next up, we've got Confetti, Mahindra, Tootsies, and Catapult. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Catapult beginning to fall behind. The NASCAR's in the lead. Catapult off the track. Mahindra in front of Confetti, who's on the side of the track as well. Tootsies will basically cruise to the victory as the 2 NASCARs closest to us ruin their own race. But wait, what? Mahindra takes the victory? But Tootsies was on the track. Mahindra was all over the place. Hold on, I have to go back here. Did Mahindra beat Tootsies to the merge zone? I thought he was well off the track. So let's take a look here. Oh my goodness, that is actually extremely tight. I thought it was a lot further than it actually was. And then coming down to the finish line, that is extremely close. But Mahindra is on top of his piece before Tootsies even gets there on his roof. Mahindra is going to take the victory from Tootsies. That is why you never give up in any form of racing, especially race derby. You may be on your roof, your competitors and your fans may think you're out of it, but ultimately it is who gets to the merge zone first and whose lane should be clean. Mahindra on his roof takes the win. Next up, we've got Fast Break, Drafter, Pegasus, and EB. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe EB the one falling back. The middle lane's inching ahead. A bounce there. Drafter on the side of the track. Pegasus, clean and green to the line, will flip Drafter off the track. The outside lanes were the ones who got eliminated. That allowed the inside lanes a clean shot to the finish line. Unfortunately, Drafter still made a fatal mistake getting on the side of the track and allows Pegasus to take an easy win and another advancement for NASCAR into round 3. Next up, we've got Rookie Flash, Elliott, Daylight, and Baseline. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Elliott in the lead. Flash drawing close to him. Off the track, everyone. Baseline, the only one clean to the merge zone. As Flash and Elliott argued for position, and Daylight was well out of the way as well. Baseline just kind of snuck his way through Elliott, will come home in second place. They just argued over position. I guess as Flash got eliminated, they both argued over position coming to the finish line, and they were so focused on each other that they completely forgot about the other side and baseline sneaking through. Next up, we've got Rally, Pace, Cupra, and Plymouth. Lanes 1 and 3 are rookies. Lanes 2 and 4 are veterans. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Maybe Pace beginning to fall behind Rally through the explosion zone. Rally gets nailed, but still sneaks his way through past Plymouth to take the victory. Everyone behind Rally flipping all over the place. The rookie, well, one of the rookies, Rally, takes the win. He got absolutely nailed by Pace as Pace was eliminated. Fortunately for him, as he got stuffed in the wall by Pace, Plymouth and Cupra basically argued over position and tangled as well. And so as they slowed each other down, Rally fortunately was able to recover himself quick enough to be able to beat Plymouth at the line to advance to round 3. That was the final 4-car race of round number 2. And thank God we've only got one 3-car race. It's an all-rookie race containing Johnny, Tracker, and Sperling. And it looks to be maybe Tracker with a slight lead, but very quickly gets overtaken by Sperling. He hits Johnny, completely slows him down. Sperling will go ahead and take the victory. Johnny hung up right there. That was a very unfortunate situation right there for Johnny, as he had a very good chance of being able to possibly take the victory, but just kind of got hit there by Tracker. So now it should be first and third going up against each other, and so that would be Tracker and Sperling. So next up, indeed, we do have both Tracker and Sperling. They're once again in the middle lanes. I do find this a very interesting choice, but as long as they're in similar lanes, both the inside lanes or both the outside lanes, I guess it doesn't really matter where exactly they put them. So Tracker in lane 2, Sperling in lane 3. And it looks to be a relatively even start once more. Maybe Sperling now in the lead of Tracker, bouncing there, sideways, hits the wall, and I think Tracker might have beat Sperling. Sperling does flip off the track. But is that the true result I'm hearing from officials? From Sperling getting sideways, Tracker does indeed take the win. Sperling is one of the smallest competitors we have. He is very, very short. He's also very narrow. And so that unfortunately just caused him that bounce right there exiting. He's just way too small to be able to handle that. And so he slid and drifted, lost way too much speed. He clearly was the fastest out of these three. But unfortunately, if you can't beat third place, you don't deserve the victory. So Sperling will go from first to worst. He'll end up third in this one. So that means we got one race left between Tracker and Johnny to officially see who advances to round 3. Final race, final official race here of round number 2. It's a 2-car race with Tracker and Johnny once again in the middle lanes. Tracker in lane number 2, Johnny in lane number 3. Tracker in the same lane he just beat Sperling in, but Johnny and Tracker were in the same lanes in the original 3-car race, and Johnny actually ended up technically beating Tracker in that one. And so second and third in the original race, one of them will advance to round 3. And it looks to be a relatively even start. Tracker with the early advantage. Maybe Johnny now gapping him. A bounce there for Tracker. A bounce off the wall again, and Johnny will flip Tracker off the track. And Tracker will come home in second place in the race. Sperling comes home in last, and Johnny will beat the rookie duel. Will win the rookie duel, beating out his fellow rookies. Johnny was very impressive at the end of round number 1, and relatively strong right here again. I think if he had not gotten held up by Tracker in that original race, I think he would have won this one straight up. I don't think we would have had that many races, and I think Sperling just would have come home in second in this one. Unfortunately, that's not how that happened, so Sperling goes from best to worst, comes home in last. Once again, Tracker in second, and Johnny, the one now advancing to round 3. Okay, round number 2 is over, and man, oh man, did the field shuffle up majorly. Biggest surprise, race number 1, Discount beats Ladder. Valvoline may be still in it, but I think I'm switching my NASCAR pick to Discount, because, beating a competitor who has finished runner-up in this competition twice, that is very, very impressive. Something I completely forgot to mention also at the end of round number 1, I completely forgot about how strong Stevens' round 1 race was. Just how far ahead of the pack he was. That's going to be a good race as well. Race 2 is going to be incredibly competitive. But I'm currently looking at 2 of the older vets in this one, though. Races 4 and 5, Symbol and Baseline. Baseline, the only competitor still in this competition who has won Race Derby. He won his first career win in the inaugural Race Derby back in 2023. Baseline's been running strong in this one. It looks like he really, really wants it. So if anyone really is going to break up that NASCAR party, I think it's going to be Baseline or Symbol. Round 3 is going to be a fun one. And that's going to do it for today. Round number 2 of Race Derby finally in the books. I'm excited for the following rounds. Round number 3 is going to be a very, very interesting one to see who exactly gets ahead of these races. It's going to be a fun one, and I hope you join us for it. Subscribe down below if you do not want to miss it. Like and comment as well while you're at it. Let me know, out of these competitors, am I right for thinking that Discount could be the one to take it? Do you think that maybe Symbol or Baseline can take it? Or am I overlooking someone entirely? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe while you're at it. We'll be back for rounds 3, 4, and 5, the final rounds of Race Derby, eventually. And then we can get back into the regular races on the regular track. We still have not recorded the April competition. That will be the competition immediately following this one. And so, until then, until next time, my name is Farkle8000, and we'll see you later.